Trills is one of the most difficult piano techniques to master. It takes years before you can effortlessly play beautiful and even trills. So let me give you some of my tips on trills so you have a good foundation for how to practice them. So my first tip for trills is to use a combination of fingers as well as arm and wrist rotation to play them. If this is new to you, I recommend you practice each movement individually. Practice with just the finger motions. Then practice mostly with stationary fingers and just rotate the wrist and arm back and forth. Then practice combining them. It's almost like vibrating your hand. The next tip is to stay in the key. Think about not fully coming out of the key. This is especially important for faster trills. So stay in the key. You don't need to be lifting your fingers up so high. That just makes it harder to play faster. Another tip is to not play so heavy. If you try to play really heavy and try to put a lot of weight into the trills, that will make it very difficult to play. Just lighten them up and they become so much easier. If I put a bunch of weight into the trill, that makes it very difficult. So if I just lighten it up, it's so much easier. Now, if you really struggle with trills, or you're just a very methodical person that likes to be very intentional with every movement, then I highly recommend you measure out your trills. Measure out exactly how many notes you'll play in the trill. So let's say you're playing Mozart. Measure out exactly how many notes will be in the trill. So if I have 16th notes in the left hand, so if I want to measure out that trill, maybe I could have 2 notes in the trill for every left hand note. Or if that is difficult for you, you could try just 1 note in the trill for every 16th note in the left hand. So if I play that a little faster, it doesn't sound so bad. Sure, if you can play faster trills, it sounds cool, but if that is too difficult for you, you're just going to spend a lot of time and it's going to be frustrating to learn it. So measure out the trill exactly. And this is not just a beginner tip. A lot of professional concert pianists will also measure out their trills exactly, especially in classical music like Mozart or Haydn and even Baroque like Bach. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe it was Emil Gilaus that said he measured out all his trills, no matter what he played. If you're kind of new to trills, you may ask, well, what fingers do I use? And the answer to that is, well, kind of experiment and find what works for you. The most common fingers for trills is 1-2 or 2-3, maybe 1 and 3. For me personally, I hate 2-3 trills. It's uncomfortable for me, especially in my right hand, and I avoid it if I can. Of course, we don't always get the choice for what fingers to use in our trills, depending on the context of the music. It's probably just me, but I find it's usually easier to trill with fingers that aren't neighboring fingers like this. So if there's a finger in between, I find that's easier than to do neighboring fingers. Well, these are my quick tips for playing trills. Hopefully something here helped you, and if you think I missed something, please let me know. And until next time, see you later.